The show is about to begin. Enjoy.
Michael O'Grady e I Creativi.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for checking out Michael O'Grady and the Creatives. I am the host, Michael O'Grady, and you're not. Today's episode is episode 6.
The Dirty Six.
The Dirty Six. Made it this far. Not too bad. Working it out and everything. My guest for today's show is an awesomely talented singer-songwriter and guitar player. He sings, writes, and plays guitar in his band called Mechanical Roots out here in Los Angeles, California. They have a new single out right now called Broken Record, and if you get a chance, fucking check that song out because it is rad. I listened to it a couple times already, and today to refresh myself. And my guest is originally from Fairfield, Connecticut, same hometown as John Mayer. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kev O'Brien. Kev.
How y'all doing? Thanks for having me, dude.
Dude, of course. Thank you for coming down. And we got to start off the show because Kev is a gentleman and a guest. And here we go. Cheers. Thank you. That's not too bad.
Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo Trace.
I never had it before, and I was at Trader Joe's the other day, and I was like, you know what? Let me give it a shot.
Is it like that cool Trader Joe's, like nobody got hurt in the making of this whiskey?
Yeah, I think so. The bottle was really cool. Like, you took it off, and the wrapper had, like, some cool buffalo design, and then when you take it off, it's engraved in the wood top, and I'm like, oh, damn.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
is it,
on,
you don't have to say
get your shit together.
You don't have to say the price, but is it like...
No, I don't know. Honestly, I don't remember. I just know the groceries... I was like, okay, that was a
decent
little
bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
Thing.
You can like feel it on your lips when you taste it.
Oh,
you
it's
know?
really good. Yeah. It reminds me a little bit of Jameson,
Mm.
but it's not like. It's a little bit more smoother. It almost feels like.
Right. That's the one of the only alcohols I can't drink.
You can't or can?
Jameson. Cannot
Do Jameson. Why
Cannot
can't you do
Jameson.
Jameson?
Had a really bad night. My mom's 50th birthday. Dude, I was 18, and the bartender he for some reason thought I was of age, and he's like, this guy is getting free shots all night. I'm like, dude, it's not even my birthday. It's my mom's. So, yeah, I just had like 9 too many shots of Jameson, and was basically crawling home, and it was
And ever
horrible.
since then, you're like, I stay away from that
I can't
drink.
stand the smell, the taste, the look of Jameson. And I'm Irish.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say this is what's cool. This is like the Irish show. This is the O'Brien O'Grady show, which is rad as
Feel
hell.
the power in that.
Yeah, and I knew to. Let me ask you this. I mean, I see your name on Facebook. I see it on the internet, but everything's like always capitalized. But I'm assuming you have the O apostrophe capital B,
100%, yeah.
and you have to tell people.
Yep.
Because people don't. Is your social security at all messed up with this? Because I know for me, it's like, or not social security, but sometimes with anything, it's like either it's the O and they include the apostrophe, or they won't allow you to include it.
Yeah, never do I ever get a chance to do the apostrophe. And
It's
I'm like,
so-
dude, it's part of the name.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
like, that character can't be used. And I'm like, okay.
I got in trouble for that when I was a kid, and I'll never forget it, where my parents, I think it was something along the lines of, it might have been school, where they were kind of like, they didn't include it, and I kind of like let it slide, or they didn't include the apostrophe or the capital G, and I let it slide and was like, oh, it's okay, and my parents were like, no, it's not okay.
How dare you?
Yeah, they gave
It's
you
part
that.
of you.
Yeah, they gave you that quick lesson of like, you need, and that's where that comes from.
Yeah.
For me, was you need to understand something. Like, you're Irish, you be proud of it, and you let people know about it, because that was one of the things that I've learned, and I've met a lot of walks of life with this similar Irish last name, where a lot of people dropped O's, they dropped the apostrophes, they changed it a little bit so that it wouldn't sound Irish. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
You didn't know about
messed up.
that?
Can't be doing that, no.
No, but they did that.
Really?
Yeah, because it goes back to like when immigrants were coming over to like Ellis Island, like in the I want to say, I can't remember that big wave. I can't remember the time period.
1905, 1905.
Yeah, it's either then or like around like just when everybody was immigrating over to the United States, and at the time Irish people were heavily discriminated on. So what people would end up doing to make sure that they were A-OK to come here into the country and work, they would change the last name so people didn't think it was an Irish last name. It was a very big deal. So a lot of people buckled under that kind of pressure because it was the same thing as far as like, I don't want to get like all political or whatever and everything, but like it was that same idea as like the same kind of struggle of like people if they're like African American or they're transgender or they're gay or they're lesbian or whatever it is. The Irish had that same problem of being treated as equal and getting jobs and having the same kind of rights. So a lot of people would end up like Italians too, absolutely. So a lot of people like end up changing their last names, and a lot of people that I've met, they have that last name where they're like, oh, it used to be this. And it's not just Irish. I think it's like all walks of life and all ethnicities where they've ran into that problem. But I found out that my family was kind of sneaky, where according to my dad, and he follows the whole lineage in the tree, I'm originally from Ohio. And where I'm from is like Cleveland area.
Nice.
So it's like, if you know like the map of the United States and everything, is that so you got Ohio, and then above Ohio is Lake Erie, and then you have Canada. So what the O'Grady's, I guess, did, they didn't go to Ellis Island. They went into Canada, like the far east side of it, like what is it? I think it's like I can't think of the east side of Canada. Yeah,
it's on the east side.
Is Montreal on the east side or the west side?
Oh no, that's west side. That's west side.
What's on the east side? I'm thinking of the one that's they speak French.
Oh, dude, I was just having this conversation the other day.
Where do they speak French at? Like Alberta? No.
That's more north. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
French is north. I don't know.
Something like that. Well, anyway, that's where they.
I feel like I should know this.
What they did, if you like look at it as like a line, like your GPS of like where the O'Grady's came in, they didn't go to New York. They went in up through Canada, like da 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 da, and then they just dove into Ohio.
Nice.
And they kept the O apostrophe capital G, that kind of a type of thing. And then you're from Fairfield, Connecticut.
Yeah, I don't know if the O'Briens came to Fairfield and was like, "Yep, I'm here." Not
it would make sense where you're at in the United States.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Boston, all that stuff. Connecticut,
sure.
A lot of probably Irish, Italian.
Oh, yeah, a lot of that, which I dearly miss because the food is unbelievable on the East Coast. You can go out here. You could go out here. You get a great taco, burrito.
Yeah.
But you go out east, you know you're going to get good pizza.
Yep.
You know you're going to get a good deli sandwich that's like authentic. And, we just cut the freaking cow in the back, like that's, you know what, you're getting good stuff.
Yeah.
So
it's a little bit different, but yeah, it's one of those things where when I go back home and I try to get like Mexican food and what they consider good tacos or what they consider good salsa, I'm like, this is bullshit.
It's like getting sushi in the Midwest.
You're like, no, no, it's not good. No.
Yeah.
But when you go to, like, anytime I go to New York, and it's a little bit of a placebo effect, but it's a little bit of that, like, no, there's something different.
Yeah.
And there's not a whole lot of places out here that have, like, that Italian, Irish, but it's California.
True.
It's kind of like, it's different.
True.
We have, like, the burritos. We have the taco places and everything like that.
Every corner you go, especially to L.A., like, dude, that's one of the things that L.A. is phenomenal for is the Mexican food. Any place you go to, even if some people, to a person that's from California, like, that place is decent, it's not that good, but to an outsider, it's like, dude, that's the best taco ever had, or best burrito I've ever had. The El Pastor, like, it's, dude, I love
El Pastor.
That's the best.
Dude, there's a place on Santa Monica, and I want to say it's called, like, Los Burritos or Los Tacos. I don't remember the name because I've only been to it when I'm, like, drunk, or I know where it's at.
Yeah.
But, like, it's...
Is it a food truck?
No. Oh. No. It's like a hole in the wall next to the 7-Eleven and in between a laundromat. And it's like Santa Monica and Fairfax. And their El Pastor is bananas good.
Really?
It is so good. And that's usually what I notice is it's either food truck or hole in the wall places are, like, the best.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can't tell you the last time I had Chipotle.
Nah,
because of living. You don't go to Chipotle.
No,
you don't do it.
No, it's
but
like
I remember
Panda Express for Asian food. It's like, I'll do that if I'm on a budget or just want a quick bite.
Yeah, it's everywhere, but it's not the same thing, dude. I remember the first time Ohio got a Chipotle, and we were like, "Whoa,
Mexican food!
Wow." And then you move here and you're like, Chipotle's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, it's fast food. It's McDonald's
It's
for
Mc-
Mexican food. That's what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's a step up because you got
It's a
like
little bit,
Del
yeah.
Taco, and then you got
Well-
Taco Bell's bomb though.
No,
Let's be
yeah.
real. But
When's the last time you had Taco Bell?
shit, dude, I had Taco Bell maybe like 3 months ago. I used
You
to
really?
Yeah, Crunchwrap Supreme.
Oh, you got to go with that.
2 of them. Take them down.
Dude, I hit
Easy.
I hit Taco Bell and McDonald's like that. All right, I'm going to do it.
Right? Yeah.
Like,
You
I'm
drive
like,
past and be like, oh shit, that smells so good.
you're like, okay.
Yeah.
It's bar food. It's drunk.
been
It's
like
like
3 months since I had it
yeah.
last. I could do it
But
again.
you don't do it every day.
No.
Not all the time.
No.
Yeah. That's the trick with it. That's what I noticed with
Yeah.
it. Like since this lockdown session, there was one night when I fucking, oh my God, I don't know what it was. Something pulled a trigger on me and I go, I want McDonald's right now. Like out of fucking nowhere, dude.
Right
It was
now.
right now.
I need it.
And I Postmated it, which sucked because Postmates
Oh,
is like
man.
$30 for McDonald's. But
Yeah.
it just took over me with it was like, get the milkshake, get the fries, get the double cheeseburger, blah, blah, blah,
Ooh,
blah,
man.
blah. And I just was like, but how I grew up, I don't know if you grew up the same way, was fast food like a staple, like of eating? Like you always ate it growing up or?
For the most part, I mean, like in my hometown, we have this place called Dutch's.
Oh,
and
okay.
it's like a fast food diner.
Oh.
So you can get anything that you get at like a diner, you can get at Dutch's drive-through. And
Really?
Yeah, it's just made super fast. It's not as good quality as like a good diner on the East Coast, but
Wait.
yeah, I would go there every morning before I'd go cut my lawns. I would go there every single morning, get a number 1 breakfast sandwich, bacon, egg, and cheese on a hard roll with a black coffee and a hash brown. Throw that hash brown on the sandwich.
Yep.
Delicious.
There you go.
Never really did McDonald's. I would do McDonald's late at night because it's open 24/7. If
Right.
I'm absolutely hammered. It's like, yo, give me 3 McChickens.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what it's there for.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're
exactly.
like, ah.
Yeah.
But you know what the best is probably with that is Wendy's.
Oh, Wendy's chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Dip it in the chocolate frosty. Phenomenal.
There's nothing like it. There is nothing like it. It's there for you when you need that little bit of, all right, I'm going to be bad. I'm going to eat this.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, dude, I'm skinny, but like, I felt like I lost so much weight living out here because I started going to restaurants and places that are like, everything's healthy.
Yeah, true.
And then when I go back home to Ohio and we eat, everybody's eating more than I can handle.
Well, I think it is too. When you leave LA, you can afford everything.
Oh, yeah.
So like everything is way cheaper. So you eat it, you're like, okay, I'll take 2 of those. Hell yeah. You know,
Yeah.
back in West, I could only do 1, but shit,
Right.
that's only what, $3? Give me 2.
You go to like a gastro cool pub out here
Yeah.
where it's like, you ever go to those, you know what one of my favorite places is? You ever go to Stout?
I hate Stout, dude.
You hate it?
I
Why do you
cannot
hate
stand
it?
Why are you gonna sell me a burger that I can't modify? Are you kidding me?
exactly
You're
what I was
gonna
gonna-
tell me how to
Wait.
eat my burger? Come on, are you
Dude,
serious?
that's exactly what I was going to talk about.
Dude,
That's I was like so dumbfounded that that's their policy.
how are you making money off that? Because
Dude.
they're charging a shit ton of money for the burgers.
It's
But
like the thing about that is with Stout, I was like, I love their burgers, but there is a pomp circumstance of them like, you can only take away, do not add on. And
Yeah.
that turned me off a little bit, but I thought they were so good that I didn't give a fuck.
they are good. I'm not gonna lie. Like honestly, I wouldn't turn it down.
I think that's so funny. That's the first thing you notice. You're like, what?
Dude,
I
'cause
can't add?
when I go to restaurants, I gotta I look at the menu. My girl hates me for this, but I take it after my dad, dude. I go to a restaurant, I see the menu, I'm like, okay, this looks good. I'll modify that because I don't like tomatoes on anything.
You don't like
Can't-
tomatoes?
Love ketchup, don't like tomatoes.
You're one of those people.
I like sun-dried tomatoes.
But
Those are good.
you got it. Oh, you're one of those with the
Yeah.
burgers. You go no tomato.
Oh, no.
Well, you can take away at Stout. You can take it away.
Yeah, you can take away,
but you can't add.
why can't I add grilled onions to the breakfast? They
Right.
call it the hangover or something like that.
Yeah, they have like a hangover burger or
Dude,
whatever. Yeah.
Fried egg on a burger,
Yeah.
genius. A
Yeah.
little bit of fried onion though, or grilled onion.
Grilled onion. Yeah, yeah.
Come on,
Dude,
Give me
it's
it.
not bad. Yeah.
Give
But
me
you
that.
can't do that on Stout.
you can't do that. On
I
Stout.
know. It's a weird thing. It's like this, in my opinion, it's this weird thing that makes people feel like they're in a certain environment. They want to create this vibe of
Yeah.
like, you're at our place. it's not the customer is always right rule. This is Los Angeles. We ain't taking kindly to your fucking Kentucky. Fucking do what you want. They don't do that. They
This
have
is my
this.
house. Welcome to my home.
And you know what? Everybody's in a fucking bad mood at those places.
Mhm. Yeah.
The
Good beer, though.
Yeah, no, it's good, but like it's weird. But yeah, you're right. It's this weird thing where LA has this thing that everything has to be super cool. And by being
course.
super cool, they have their rules. And if you are nice and you are like, oh my God, I'm so happy to be here, they fucking hate you. They do. The waitresses there are like pretty, but they're in a bad mood. Don't hit on me. It's not like going to like a Hooters where like that's their job is to be like, oh my God, you guys are so funny.
Hooters, man. Throwback.
That's when I go to a place, I want to feel good.
Yeah.
But when you go to like these LA cool places, the cooler you are, it's like the more of a bad mood you have to be in it. That's what I swear to. Like my brothers came out and visited, and it reminded me of when I first moved out here, and it made me think, am I an asshole? Like, am I a dick?
Right? Did LA turn me into something?
Yeah,
I
because
didn't
they
wanna
were
be?
the way they were at this restaurant was so. I don't know what the word is for it, but I could just tell the
Like,
way they interacted with the waitress, the bar staff, the host, the whole 9 yards. They had this vibe of like, oh yeah, you ain't from around here. You're not cool like us. And these places we went to where we end up going all the time, they have this vibe of like, yeah, we don't do that here.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
we're-
my bad.
We're Stout Burger.
Welcome to Stout.
Yeah. Don't add anything on.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
You like ketchup? Fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit. It's
No.
it's a very weird energy. Like,
Yep.
again, you like, we'll get into all the music stuff. We've gone off the rails already,
Yeah.
but this is kind of fun about it. But
Everybody in LA knows Stout Burger.
yeah,
For
they
sure.
do. You know Stout Burger. And
You've all
everything
been
with it.
there?
Yeah. It's
You've all
like,
been
dude,
there.
it's
They
like,
know.
you know what it is? I feel like it's this. You got to act like you don't want to fucking be there.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, who's that guy? Oh, who's that lady?
That guy gets me.
Yeah.
He gets
It
this.
goes, yeah, if you're like, I don't fucking want to be here.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, and that's the thing. And then I go to the South or I go to East Coast and they're like, oh my God, how are you? Welcome
Right?
to our place. Thank you so much. What can I do for whatever you want? I'm there for you.
Look, I know we're a burger place, but I can make you shoes if you need it. Look, I can make you a nice pair of boots. Buddy, let me tell you something. I got you. It's like, dude, they're so giving
That's
over
exactly what it is. And you're like, oh, that's hospitality.
there. Yeah.
That's
I
what
want.
that is. And I played a show in Atlanta, Georgia one time, and I was scared because people from Atlanta are amazing musicians. But the energy of the crowd, they were like, oh my God, thank you so much for being here. They had like that
Nice.
vibe of like, yes, you're here. And I was like, when you play in LA, they're like, oh, fuck you.
Here's my theory with that, though, because Los Angeles, everybody in the mother that plays an instrument all over the world, they come to Los Angeles.
Yep,
and
it's
they're
a
like,
mecca.
Yes. So anytime, and we'll get into this for sure, because I'm in one of those bands that are like doing their original music out here.
Yeah.
But like, you know, you play to a crowd that is a lot of musicians. And of course, they're not going to become diehard fans. The diehard fans are outside of Los Angeles.
Right.
The people that are going to really make you a career are not in Los Angeles.
No.
So, you know, I push to like all my buddies all the time, like, dude, tour. California is so big. Los Angeles is cool to play in because you could say, yeah, we're from LA, we play in Los Angeles. But at the same time, like, dude, you got to get out because when you just play to musicians, people are like, that's cool. I could do that better. Yeah, that song was okay. But, you know, I would have done this. It's like, really, dude? I swear to God, that's
Yeah.
like you just said, you know, when your brothers came out, you're like, shit, am I an asshole now? Like, I feel like a lot of people that are LA, especially artists, they think their shit don't stink. So they're, you know, they
Yeah.
feel free to just call you out for that shit. But
Yeah. It's definitely a weird place to be and cut your teeth with learning how to play music. I mean, in one regard, it's cool because it gives you thicker skin. You learn how to play a gig where nobody applauds, where nobody's going crazy.
yeah,
And then when you do go to like Kentucky or Idaho, you're like, oh wow, people have energy. People give a shit about this.
Yeah.
And LA has like a certain like look to it that makes them go, oh wow, you play in LA.
exactly. Like, oh, when you're touring, Los Angeles band, that just sounds good. That
Yeah.
just sounds good on paper.
We're
It's
from Los Angeles.
from Los Angeles.
It's just
you know?
way better
It's
on
like,
paper.
holy
Yeah.
shit, LA. I remember that when I was a kid in high school, this one dude, I forget his name, but he was from Los Angeles. He flew out. He used to live in Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
Then he came back, and I didn't know him when he lived in Connecticut. But one of my buddies, we were at a party. He's like, "Yeah, my buddy from LA's coming out here, dude." And this was maybe sophomore year of high school. And he rolled a joint at a party, and he put on Sublime, and I'm like, he put on Summertime by Sublime. I'll never forget it. I'm like, this dude fucking gets it, man. Fucking LA, California, dude. Like, holy shit.
Oh, that's so rad.
Fucking Cali, man.
How old were you?
I was probably like 14, sophomore year in high school, yeah.
Were you
So-
playing guitar at this point?
I was, yeah. I
And you-
just started playing.
And you
barely
met
started
some
playing.
dude
Yeah.
that flew in
Flew in
from LA.
for the week to visit his buddy, yeah. Yeah, and he's like,
Oh my God! You
like,
must have
yeah.
been like, "What the fuck?"
yeah, I'm like, dude, in California?
This guy, did he like look like a rock star or?
He just was like kind of shaggy dude, had like the beachy vibe, the long blonde hair, like
And he was a musician.
he's a DJ.
Oh, he's a DJ, but
I
he
think
had.
before he was a musician,
Oh,
yeah, and then he
okay.
transitioned, but I forget his name. I can't think of it. But anyway, yeah, I remember he just like was rolling joints. He rolled like 6 joints at the party. I'm like, bro, California, dude. Like,
They get it.
he's listening to Sublime. What is this fucking white boy reggae shit, dude? Like, damn.
Is that the first time you heard Sublime?
Yeah, actually, sadly enough, yeah, because I
That's
was.
not sad. That's good. That's pretty good.
It was summertime too.
That's a good
Yeah.
age. 14 years old to hear Sublime. That's a perfect age to
True.
hear it.
I mean, I heard What I Got, but like, everybody, What I Got.
Yeah.
That's not Sublime. That's Sublime, but it's like, look at all their other shit.
That's true, yeah. But the flip side of that coin is that if you can be that band that's like internationally, like everybody knows Santeria, What I
oh
Got,
yeah, for sure.
and you're like, oh, okay, but then you hear their other shit, and you're like, okay, I
Yeah.
get it now.
yeah. Yeah, he was playing. They were doing the cover of Summertime.
Yeah.
That song. Love that song, dude.
That's the first time I ever heard that song and thought it was a Sublime song.
same. And then I played a
Right.
jazz gate, and I'm like,
Oh, they took it
Okay.
from this,
yeah.
and then you kind of yeah.
Totally different, but it's.
But you got to hear
yeah.
no shit. So you got to meet some guy who just came to a party.
Yeah.
My buddy's coming in from Los Angeles, California.
Yeah.
You're 14 years old. I just started playing guitar, and you're like, oh fuck. Like, was that like
Yeah.
a big?
That was just kind of like, okay, so there's more to just this little bubble that I'm in. Like, so I was talking to him a little bit more. I'm like, dude, that was a cool song. Like, what else you playing? And so he started playing Slightly Stupid.
No shit.
And like all this other stuff. And a couple of my buddies were also into Slightly Stupid, but I never really got into it.
Right.
But then this dude just made it cool. And I'm like, shit, man. All right.
No,
So-
dude, that's so
Yeah.
fucking rad.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
that's so cool. So some guy just drops in at a party and makes you kind of like, it's a big eye opener for you, kind of
Right.
influences you on something where you get like a vibe of like California. It's not just Fairfield, Connecticut.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
you're just like, whoa. Yeah.
culture.
Yeah. Culture.
Yeah.
yeah. Dude, I was the same way. You hear something where you're like, you hear Guns N' Roses, you hear Sublime, you hear Led Zeppelin. It makes you kind of go, what the fuck am I doing here? Or you get like this edge of, you get an edge of like, oh, they don't get it, but I get it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially, so you're starting to play guitar at 14? You're a
Uh,
newbie then?
Yeah, 14. Yeah, 14. And it sucked because my dad, he, my grades, dude, I was one of those kids in school that was like, screw this, man. I'm going to fucking drop out, play guitar, I won't go to my last class. I'll just walk my ass home, go practice,
Right.
And eventually my dad was like, you know what? Fuck you, dude. I'm going to hide your guitar from you and you're going to do better in school. And I'm like, shit.
No
So-
shit. How old, what this is like
yeah,
high school?
high school for sure. Yeah.
Wow. Because you were just like obsessed with it?
Yeah, because my dude, honestly, the music that got me into it was Def Leppard.
No way.
Yeah, my uncle, diehard hair metal band, dude, or hair metal fan. Def Leppard, Guns N' Roses, Warrant, Rat,
Right.
like all that stuff, dude. So I would listen to that. Him and I would go out. I'd cut grass with him, and then we go out listen to that stuff on like our local Connecticut radio.
Yep.
Maybe busting it, and then I told my mom, like, Mom, I need a guitar. She's like, okay. And when I first got it, I played it like Jimi Hendrix. Like I flipped it the other way. I thought I was a lefty because I always
Oh,
played air
really?
guitar lefty.
No shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah, my
Wow.
dad was like, nah, dude, flip it like this. So
Are you
No,
right-handed naturally?
No, I'm right-handed naturally.
Like you throw a ball or
Yeah.
write, with a pen and paper and
Right.
everything. Oh, but you were like, oh, I want to be like Hendrix.
No, I didn't even, dude. At the
Oh,
time,
you
I didn't
just
even
grabbed
listen to
it like
Hendrix.
that?
Yeah, I just,
Can you imagine?
I just assumed that because I played air guitar lefty all the time that I was like, okay, I can play guitar this way. And I played my guitar so out of tune for like 6 months to the point where, dude, I knew nothing about guitar. I was just playing.
I did the same
day.
shit.
And a buddy of mine, he was like 2 years deep in guitar. He's like, dude, he was trying to play G chord on my guitar. He's like, dude, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, man, your guitar's so out of tune. I'm like, oh, what's a tuner? Like, what are you talking about? What's a tuner, And he's like, here, let me show you. So he tuned it for me, and I was like, okay, this is cool,
Really?
Yeah.
That's so funny. I did the same thing with like Beatles songs. I would just play along out of tune, not knowing what I'm doing.
Yep.
Just
Because you'll find the note eventually. You're
yeah,
like,
you
okay,
just
that
try to
works.
reenact like
Right.
whatever's going on.
Yeah.
No shit. Wow,
Yeah.
wow. What was the thing that like got you to go, I'm gonna play guitar?
Scorpions, Rock You Like a Hurricane solo. And that one note, dude, where he goes up and it's like the second, in the middle of the solo where he hits that high, like, da-na-na-na,
I'm trying to wait. Hold
right
on.
before he drops that.
That I'm thinking of boom. Am I singing the melody right?
I'm trying to think of it right now.
Yeah.
So,
Boom, boom, bam. Don't they like kind of mimic the vocal melody? Rock you like a hurricane.
Oh, yeah.
And the guitars come in with the harmonies. That's two guitars going. Am I thinking of Rocky?
Yeah. Yes. That's
Is
Rock You
that
Like a
what you're
Hurricane.
talking about?
Yeah.
That part?
Here I am. Then, but then the guitar solo.
What's the?
I
Oh,
don't
you're
know,
talking about the guitar solo.
Yeah, the guitar solo.
Oh.
Strictly the guitar solo.
Not the intro guitar hook riff.
No.
Oh, okay.
It was this one note that hooked me, dude.
I'm gonna have to listen to that again to see what you're talking, because I can't hear it in my head right now.
Yeah, and so I don't know. It was live too. I had their live album in 19.
The Scorpions.
Yeah.
The fucking.
This song is called "Rock You Like a Hurricane." It's like.
And how old are you?
I was freshman year of high school, so
14, 15?
yeah, about 14, 13. Yeah.
That
something
all
like
kind of.
Yeah, I was like, "Yep, mom, I need to do that." Like,
How did you get a hold of this tape? How did you get a hold of the live CD?
let's see. So I don't know. My mom was like, "Hey, I found these." She had like these 3 CD collection. It was like from all these 80 hair metal bands, and it was all their top hits from like Bon Jovi, "Living on a Prayer."
Kind of like, no, that's what I call music.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that,
Yeah,
yeah,
and it was
like-
like Hair Nation or something. I don't know. I forget what it was called, dude.
But yeah, a compilation
Right.
of all the greatest hits from like 1983 to whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the songs was live. Forget Live Somewhere Scorpions, and I'm like, cool. So I was just jamming it because my uncle was into it. He was like this rocket
Right.
dude. And dude, when that solo hit, man, I was like, holy shit, goosebumps. And you know when a song gives you goosebumps, it hits you the right way.
I can't
So-
believe that's the one.
Yeah. That was it. And then I found out I wasn't a huge fan of Guns N' Roses. But then,
no.
Yeah.
All right, the show's over. Bye, everybody.
Yeah, it's been real. I know. Yeah. But then, I don't know. Now I'm diehard for sure. Like, I'm actually pissed that they had to reschedule the tour.
I got to see him.
I got to see him too 2
Where'd you
years
see
ago at Dodger Stadium.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
How was the show?
I went by myself.
Yeah, you're like, fuck it, I'm going.
Yep. Yeah.
Isn't
I
that the coolest?
brought my binoculars and everything, dude.
Oh man, dude, going to a show is weird by yourself. I've done it.
Yeah.
I've had it happen by chance, and that's a weird thing. But yeah, I mean, I saw Guns N' Roses at the Forum in
Nice.
October.
That was
It was
recently, right?
Yeah, recent,
Nice.
2019.
Sick.
And I was like, oh my god, I got to see him.
Have you seen Slash's band?
Like
With
Slash
Miles
and
Kennedy?
Miles Kennedy. How's that?
Oh, I've seen him 4 times.
No shit.
Phenomenal.
Wow.
Dude, Miles Kennedy. You kidding me
Oh,
with
dude.
that voice?
I was gonna say, this would be let me ask you this, because this is my first impression. Was I listened to your guys' song from Mechanical Roots? Boom, record drop, Broken Record, which is a great name for a fucking song. And the first thing I thought about was, I was like, you kind of sound like Miles Kennedy when you sing,
Really?
without him going up
Yeah.
like super high. Those parts where he's like, it's like something of the timbre of your voice. So if you guys get a chance, if you're listening or watching right now,
Yeah.
because I got Kev O'Brien here from Mechanical Roots, and they got a new song out, and it was just released, a couple of weeks ago?
No, this was released about a month and a half, 2 months ago.
Oh,
month and a half
okay.
ago,
Yeah,
month and a half
but
ago,
during the whole
recently.
pandemic lockdown thing.
Yeah. Mhm.
So they released this song, Broken Record, which is awesome, by the way.
Thank you.
And I was listening to it, and I was like, oh, wow. Like, he kind of reminds me of Miles a little bit.
Nice.
Like
Dude,
a little,
that's a serious compliment.
Yeah. It's like a little bit like, for some reason, I thought of Miles, and then I thought of Danzig. I don't know why.
Ooh.
Because it's you got like a little bit of this low voice.
Yeah.
And it carries very well through the song. The song kind of reminds me of Foo Fighters. It has that vibe to it.
Yep.
And then the thing that I loved about it, and here's the thing, I can't stress this enough, like, because, we're all super critical of music and blah, blah, blah. But I'll say this, though. The first thing I noticed about this song was that, to me, the song felt short in regard of it was over before I knew it. There was no bullshit about it. It was just boom, 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 and it was done. And I was like, wow, hold on, I got to listen to it again. So you guys did a good job. You did a great job with writing it.
Thanks.
Because that's what I think a good song should do, is make you go, wait, there's got to be more to this. No, that's it. Let me listen to it again. And then there's a fucking bass solo.
Yeah.
And I was like...
There's a story behind that, by the way.
I was like, no shit.
Yep.
And it works really well with the song. So if you get a chance... Because the song starts out with this bass intro, verse, chorus, bass solo, back into the chorus, correct? Like maybe like a double chorus or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was listening to it, I was like, wow, that was really fucking cool. I was like, this is a good song and everything. So you guys released this single, and because of everything going on, and I mean, yeah, talk about what's going on with Mechanical Roots and everything.
So we had this whole plan. We literally had a meeting for like 3 hours, sat down. We were like, okay, here's the entire year planned out, because we have an album done.
No shit.
Yeah, this is a single off of the album called No Shelter. And so
we haven't heard the album yet.
No, the album's not out yet. Only piece of the music from the album is Broken Record. And so we had this whole meeting before the pandemic, and we're like, okay, cool. We're going to tour here, here, and here. This is how we're going to do a music video for these songs, lyric videos for this, whatever. And then, boom, Trump's like, yep, country shut down.
Right.
People are dying. It's chaotic. So music, if you're a musician, sorry, but go fuck yourself. You're out.
Yeah.
So pretty much.
We're done.
We're done,
We're
dude.
pretty much done.
We are done. But we're adapting.
Yeah.
The words in the Marine, adapt and overcome. So that's kind of what I feel like we're...
What's the one I always heard, it's like adapt or die? Something like that? Have you ever heard anything like that?
Yeah.
I've heard something like that. Like, it's like adapt or die or be killed. Like, you need to roll with the punches, kind of that
kill or be killed kind of deal.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah,
Which
that's what I was
going to bring me to another point later on.
Sorry, go ahead.
Good conversation for you. And for all of you. Just keep that in mind. But yeah, so we had this whole plan and got totally compromised. And so we're like, okay, cool. We can't do a legit music video for Broken Record. We have footage from shows where we're just kind of like hanging out and like, being ourselves. And I always like those kind of music videos. It kind of gives the listener and the fan like a taste of who the musicians are in a way,
Right.
So I put that footage together. We threw some lyrics on it, and we're like, boom, here's a music video. But at the same time, you're getting a lyric video.
Right.
And it took off in Brazil.
No shit.
Brazil, dude. I had fans hit me up on Instagram being like, hey, if you tour out here, you can stay at my place. I'll feed you, house you. And I'm like, all right, yeah, fucking get me to Brazil.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was a really cool response. So we got really great from that. So we dropped that. We're about to do an acoustic version of the song. We're going to release that as like the pandemic version,
There you go.
Musicians are like doing in their room, their home studios.
Right.
I don't know, dude. We're trying to figure out like the best route to take. And
Right. Well, and I mean, it's not like you can't do anything with it. At least people can go and hear the song and listen to it.
Sure.
I mean, like, even though you can't go out and play live right now, which sucks.
Really sucks.
But you at least go, hey, we got all this material. And I'm like, there's like this thing where I'm like kind of hoping like, okay, that's cool. That's one cool thing I didn't know about was you got this single, but you also have an album to back it up with.
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
So same thing. Like we had all this stuff planned out, but now we dropped the single. The next single, which this is probably my favorite song on the record, is called Out of Sight, Out of Mind.
Okay.
You heard it here exclusively first.
Yeah. First here. Michael O'Grady and the Creatives.
Yeah.
Kev O'Brien dropped a bomb.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, I need that
Yeah.
that
I
cheesy
got you.
radio.
Just record my voice. I got you, dude. I got you.
I should totally use that for any time. Like it's not the sound, but somebody's voice going. Bam, 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 bam.
Exactly. Boom. Yeah.
So
iTunes, if you want to pick that up too, you
Yeah.
can hit me up. I got you.
We just got on iTunes. I got on iTunes.
Yeah,
There's nobody else here but me.
congrats.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not that hard actually. You just got to submit to them and they go, okay.
They're like, yeah,
There you
that's
go.
cool. I'll dig it.
Yeah,
Right
fine,
on.
whatever.
Yeah,
But it makes
use
it easier for people to find.
Yeah,
So are
for
you going to
sure.
release like a second single with this song
Yeah,
you're talking about?
So we plan on doing 3 singles off the album.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Now,
Yeah.
I would love to just do every song on the album as a single, especially now because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So we're trying to figure out the best strategy because, like, I watched tons of YouTube videos on, like, people saying, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this and the other. And other people that have gone through it and experienced it, and, like, people in person are like, hey, I would do this because this worked for me, blah, 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 these ads, this placement, whatever. So we're trying to figure it out. But Out of Sight, Out of Mind is definitely, like, if you're a guitar player and you're not, like, pretty much, like, I wrote the riff and I'm like, you know what? I just want to punch people in the face. I played a gig with this one dude and he pissed me off so bad. It was terrible. It was just horrible. So
Wait, what was this? This is what inspired the song?
yes, it's called Out of Sight, Out of Mind.
So wait, what happened with this asshole?
So I was new to LA and I've been in LA 4 years. And so I wrote this song maybe like 2 years ago. So it was pretty fresh,
Yeah.
2 years deep. And I'm playing a gig. I'd never met this dude. And it was actually at the Sunset Jam.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're not going to name names of
No,
this
we're not.
dickhole
I don't even
is.
remember. I don't
Yeah.
even think he ever did it again, to be honest with you. And and he was like, yeah, man, I know these people, this, that, and the
Oh,
other.
is he name dropping?
He's name dropping like a motherfucker.
Fuck that guy.
And this
Yeah.
is, and I'm like, dude, okay, cool. I'm at the Viper Room in LA, all right, this is cool, man. Like, cool. All these people, I'm one of, I don't know if you've ever seen Sopranos.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the biggest things that Tony Soprano says is he's, oh shit, I'm going to forget it right now. Damn it. What is it? Oh,
I'm trying to think of it, too. Like, wait. I haven't watched The Sopranos.
Oh, he says, believe nothing you hear and half of what you see.
Oh.
Believe nothing you hear and half of what you see.
There you go, yeah.
So I keep that in mind, like, even though it's a
Super
TV
East
show.
Coast mentality, though.
Yeah, but it's like, sure, this person, that person, I'll believe it when I see it.
Right.
Maybe. And so he was telling me name and dropping all these people. Anyway, we go play an Alice in Chains song, Them Bones. It's in 7/8.
I've done that. Wait,
I don't think we did that song. I don't think
did we not do it? Because I have a memory of playing Them Bones with a drummer who fucked
He
it.
fucked the solo. Yes, you were
That was us!
Dude, that was you.
that was us! Holy shit!
Yes.
Because he sang, and then he sang in his opening band. I know exactly what you're talking. That was us. We did that.
Yes.
Because I was wondering that before this. I was like, have Kevin and I ever played a song together, or at least at the Sunset Jam?
Yeah. It was that
Fuck that
fucking
dude.
song.
Fuck that dude.
Yeah.
He fucked it up.
He fucked our solo. He was playing the solo
fucked it
in
up. I
some
forgot
in
that
4/4.
was us.
It was like, dude, the solo's
No,
in 7/8.
he fucked it the whole song
Yeah,
up
it
because I
was a
saw
nightmare.
him sing the song. Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh
Holy
my
shit.
God.
What is
Dude, oh my god, I can't believe that was us. I didn't even think about that because my memory is this guy singing some shitty opening band, and he's the singer, and then all of a sudden we go up to do Them Bones, and he jumps behind the drums, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I was
that
like,
it,
red flag.
exactly.
I was like, red flag. No.
Yep.
There's no fucking way that you can go. Dude, I can play drums. I don't know if people know that, but I can play drums.
Hell yeah. There you go.
I'm not a fucking drummer, though, and I'm not going to go on stage in front of people and
Right.
try to play Them Bones or even a fucking AC/DC song.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's one thing between playing an instrument and then being that of the instrument. Does that make sense?
Of course, yeah.
I can play drums, I can play piano, but I'll tell you the difference is I'm a guitar player,
Exactly.
and I
Yep.
can play piano, and I can play drums. Would I ever do that live as a profession on stage? No. Maybe I could, but oh my god, I can't believe that was you.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I did not even think about that. Was horrible.
It was horrible, and that was I think
Horrible.
my first time at the gym.
Was that the
Since the
first time?
Yeah,
I was pissed, dude.
dude, I was furious
Because we did what we could to to swim on that sink and swim situation, and we got fucked on it.
Yeah, you, me, the singer, and the bassist, we were locked in.
We probably talked about it because I know we coordinated. I think we split the solos.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
we did.
You took I took the first one. You took the second half.
And the first half is what, 7/8,
first half 7/8,
and then it jumps into 4/4.
Right. So he was playing it in 4/4 the whole time,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
he fucked it up.
dude.
I can't believe that. I didn't even think. I can't believe that was you.
Yeah.
That's what I don't remember. Is
So there you
I
go.
just remember because you know when you're on stage and you're having that moment of heat, where your ears start to turn warm,
yeah, for sure.
and you're like, this is not going well.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in a sea of musicians who know it's not going well.
And it's packed in the
Yeah.
Viper Room, packed to the T.
Oh
dude.
my god! I
like-
can't believe this is your fucking story with this.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. So after that, I was like, okay, fuck you, dude. You know, you name drop all the shit. You claim to be fucking phenomenal.
So you were talking to this guy beforehand.
Yeah, we were having a drink at the bar. Yeah, I was like, hey,
Oh.
dude, you know, I'm playing with you tonight, I think. And I was like, your name's such and such. He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool, man. I'm excited to play with you. Like, so we got to talk, and I barely said anything. He was doing most of the talking. It was
Yeah.
just like, you know, of course. But yeah, dude, out of sight, out of mind, dude.
I think it's one of those things that maybe you and I were in a different position because this was when 2017, 18.
17, 18, yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
I've been in LA for a long time. And I kind of like, so it's weird. It's funny because you were in this position where you're like, you're talking to somebody, you're like, yeah. The second I just stepped on stage, I was like, we're fucked.
Yeah, I should have known that. I didn't.
And our friend Brett was singing,
Yeah.
I think. I think Brett, if you ever see this episode, correct me on this. I think Brett sang that. And Brett can sing Alice in Chains for days.
Yeah,
So
this
it
is-
was
yeah.
definitely not fair. And this is nothing against like anybody who put it together, which if everybody knows, Eric Himmel runs the
Oh, yeah.
Sunset Jam.
Doing a great job.
And sometimes that's a gamble that happens
Yeah.
with music. Yeah, he does a great fucking job with that to try to
Mm-hmm.
put. I'm trying to do a fucking podcast with one person and myself.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck you navigate like 75 people on one night or
I know.
whatever it is.
It's
But yeah,
tough.
I can't believe that. Yeah, we jammed that, and
Yeah.
it fucking went off the rails
That
because it's a one thing. So if you're a listener out there, I'll just clarify this so we don't go too
Yeah.
off the rails and dork out. As a musician, I think one of the things that's tricky with us is that we want to have a good time and we want to have fun. But our job is to make you have a fun time.
Right.
And we need to put the work in and be serious about it so that it comes off effortlessly
Mm-hmm.
and it comes off fun. And that night was fucking
That was
horrible.
brutal.
That was bad. And
That
this
was
guy was
brutal.
fucking name dropping.
Dude, he was name dropping like a motherfucker. And I don't know if it was because I told him, like, yeah, dude, this is my first time here. Like, I'm new to the scene. I'm trying to get
Oh, you
into
fucked up
this
with
area."
being green.
I know.
You let him know you were green.
It's like, hey, dude, I'm a guitar player, you know?
Yeah.
But from there on out, I was like, okay, cool. Anybody that name drops,
It's
sweet.
usually a bad sign, and you'll start to
Yeah.
kind of know. And anybody who does that in any profession or any business that they do, because like for me, it was like I first moved out here, and I had similar situations with certain people where they name drop and they make you feel this certain way
right.
that is like they're superior,
Mhm.
you're new, and that can kind of hit you in a certain way. But the trick is to kind of like read between the lines and that bullshit,
Exactly.
and you start to meet people. Because I mean, like, yeah, I know it's a weird thing of being out here because sometimes you'll be too on guard, and then you don't trust people.
Right. I find that happy medium.
Yeah,
I find that happy medium. I'm like,
Yeah.
if you name drop, because it's okay to name drop sometimes. Like, yeah, you know, I did this tour for this artist, or I know this producer,
Right.
or you know, whatever. But if you're doing it to benefit others, it's great. If you're doing
Yeah.
it to benefit yourself, to just kind of like,
Yeah.
you know, make
Well-
your own head blow up, then
yeah. Well, and most of the time, I think it helps to name drop only when, and you're not name dropping because it's like if somebody asks you, "Hey, who have you worked with?"
right.
Then you got to name drop.
Name
And
drop
then
when
it's not-
necessary.
And then it's not name dropping. Or it's one of those things where I think I talked about this on like the first episode where I was like, hey, not to name drop, but this is who I was working with
Yeah.
because this is the deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people have a certain conception of how those things are. And I think that you probably learned and I've learned. I worked in a band with Randy Jackson. Randy Jackson was the manager. but that doesn't mean shit. Not to say he didn't do a great job, not to say that he's not who he is, but most of the time, 99% of the time, nobody gives a flying fuck about that. I mean,
It's pretty cool though.
it was cool.
Did you say,
Oh,
nah, not for me, dog?
Not for me, dog.
Not for me, dog.
Dude, Randy was always like, the thing I love of his fucking energy. Every time you saw him, he was just like, yo!
Yeah.
And
Shit,
you're just
boy.
like- and he was just like, yo! And he just has this energy, which I get why he is who he is, why
Right.
he was hired for American Idol. You need that, like, kind of almost hype guy. But it was one of those things where if you're in a band and you can reach an audience and you can reach people in Des Moines, Iowa, or, Canfield,
Nice.
I don't know, something. Canfield,
Slipknot.
Washington. Yeah, Slipknot, yeah.
Corey Taylor.
Nobody gives a fuck that Randy Jackson's your manager. Nobody gives a fuck who you've worked with. Nobody gives a fuck about any of that stuff. What they give a fuck about is, do you have good music? Do they like your image? Do they
Right.
like your style? Do they like what you do? Nobody knew that. I didn't know that Guns N' Roses was signed with David Geffen.
Yeah.
How the fuck would you know that as a kid?
Yeah.
You just, Guns N' Roses was cool.
Yeah.
But here, it helps pull you in certain things.
Exactly,
And that's a weird thing that we start to kind of learn.
For sure, yeah. I think name dropping, do it when necessary. It's like the slow clap. You slow clap when it's necessary. You know what I mean?
How do you know when, though?
You'll know.
You'll know? Do
You'll
you just know?
You'll know.
Yeah. What's
Look-
that movie?
Not
that-
another teen movie. I just
is
watched
it-
it last
he's
night.
just like-
He's like, the guy beats him to it, and he's like, mother.
And he's like, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Oh, that is so funny.
Hilarious
that is
movie,
like
dude.
the worst. Oh my god, that is so good. No, okay, so wait, hold on. We this is what happens on this show.
The soundtrack.
So first time at the was that your first
That was my
performance?
first time
What?
at the Sunset Jam, yeah.
Whoa.
I forget even how I got into that. I think just, word of mouth through the grapevine. I was like, cool, I'll check it out.
And you got fucked on them bones.
Yeah, I got fucked on them bones, dude. I mean, it's whatever.
Oh, so
But I'll be honest, I goofed at that gig one time too. We were doing Mr. Brownstone, and I
that's a song.
love that song.
Yeah.
Fucking, I mean, we nailed the tune, but the thing in the beginning of controversy was, do we play it in standard tuning or half step down? And I planned it on, I mean, it doesn't matter. You could detune your guitar and play
Sure.
it as is, but I was like, all right, cool, let's start playing. And I assumed that you play every song in standard tuning. I don't know why I thought that.
Right.
Just thought, it's a jam. We just,
Fuck it. Everybody's in standard tuning. We're not
Yeah.
good. And they were like, no, we're doing a half a
The
step
singer
down.
was like, fuck no, man. It's Guns N' Roses. I'm doing half step. And I'm like, oh. And Eric was like, what's going on, guys? Come on, get it going. I'm like, I got a tune. After the other guitar player had already tuned up, he's now tuning back down, and I'm tuning down too. And it was kind
So
of
you kind of had like a little bit of a train wreck there.
yeah, but we killed it. It was we did a great performance.
But yeah,
It was
yeah, that's
awesome.
always a weird thing when
Yeah.
that happens when you're on stage, especially when that first little thing goes wrong, and you're not expecting it to, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
we got to get it back together and
Right,
everything.
right. Yeah.
No shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny. That's why like communication is always important, and you talk about that where you go like, hey, or what are we doing for this?
For sure.
How are we keeping everything together? So you come into the Sunset Jam, and that's like 2017, 18. You have the fun experience with me on them bones. I can't believe that.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I did not even.
I forgot about that. Dude.
I remember that memory, but just the drummer.
yeah.
That's all I think about because
Yep.
he booked it up, and that's the worst.
Mhm.
And you can't do that with a complicated song like that. For all you people out there who are not music dorks, check out Them Bones and learn the time signature on
Yes.
it, and learn how
7/8.
to play a song correctly. Don't
Please.
waste anybody's time or
Yeah.
whatever like that. No, so you got this band, Mechanical Roots, and you got the single out, Broken Record, which
Mhm.
everybody should go fucking check out because the song's fucking rad.
Thank you.
And let me ask you this question because I'm interested in it because I've known about your band for a while now, and I want to ask, where does that name come from? Because it sounds like there's a story. Is there?
There is a story, a little bit of a story. So I've been a landscaper pretty much my whole life. Did landscape my entire life. So one day, I didn't have a band in Los Angeles. I was out here doing landscaping. I was fucking pulling weeds.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Roots. I know The Roots. So I'm like, okay, can't be called The Roots, obviously. And then I really like Mechanical because I think a lot of like the time that we're going through right now, technology and everything's starting to become like all about machinery and superficial and so I was like, okay, well, what if I took Mechanical, pulled a weed out, and I was like, Roots.
Yeah.
Boom.
There you go.
Mechanical Roots.
And they're like, that's the name.
And I tested the name out. I drove for Lyft for like 7 months, and I would be like, hey, I got a band called Mechanical Roots. And then people would be like, oh,
Yeah.
I think I heard of you guys. I'm like, you haven't, but the name, I guess you feel like you heard the name before.
Sounds like a good name.
Boom. So like, this is it. This is a good name.
You know what I would always do? I would go, hey, have you heard of this band?
Yeah.
Not my band, but this band.
Yep.
Because I've said it before, you can call your band the fucking Imagine Dragons, and people will still like, it's the worst band name ever.
Where did it even come from?
I don't fucking know.
Like, that's what I would
It's
love to
the
ask them
worst band name I have ever fucking heard.
Yeah.
I don't get it, but when I heard Mechanical Roots, the thing that it made me think of was, I like where you drew it from, and now this kind of makes sense. The first thing I thought of was that you kind of have two opposite things here. When I think of mechanical, I think of machinery, I think steel, I think of technology, I think of all that stuff. And then I think of roots, I think of the earth.
Right.
So it's two opposite things.
Yeah, we're kind of, right now in our time, we're balancing the two.
Right.
So, yeah, Mechanical
No, that
Roots.
was perfect. Yeah, it was like, it's like Guns N' Roses. I love like opposite band names. Something that's harsh or this, and something that's sweet and this. Like Guns N' Roses is a good example of that. I'm trying to think of what was the one thing I was thinking of the other day? Because there's a band out here. Do you know the band called The Things?
The Things?
Yeah.
No.
That's one of my favorite band names.
I've never heard them.
And it's fucking rad.
The Things.
They're kind of like this punk rock, blues rock,
Sweet.
old school, very... And I was like, oh, The Things. I love band names. I love things that make me kind of go, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And that's what Mechanical Roots did, where I was just like, what is that?
Well, that's good. It keeps that on your mind. You know?
That's like not in a bad way. It was more like a thing where I was like, what is that name?
Right.
It kind of made me go, I see it, I picture it, and when I drew your little logo for this, I was like,
I noticed that.
Did you?
You know what's funny? I have one of my buddies is an artist, and I'm like, dude, we need new T-shirt designs. He's like, okay, what do you want? And I'm like, I want a robot head that has been like slowly deteriorating in the earth with like roots growing over it, but his eyes are still on.
Right.
So he's still, the robot head is still on, but the roots are growing over it. I think that'd be a fucking badass shirt.
There
dude.
you go.
Boom.
It would be like, I saw this documentary one time. It was like on the History Channel of like what happens when we're gone. And the vines of trees and bushes and the earth still come up and they like eat away at New York City.
Look at Chernobyl.
Yeah. Boom, perfect example. That's what I thought of, and I was just like, yeah, and your band name made me think of that thing. I was like, Mechanical Roots, Mechanical. They're opposite names. They just are. They have that kind of like that bounce to it. Mechanical Roots, that kind of a type of thing. You know what I mean? And I was like, that's a cool fucking band name.
Sweet.
You know what I mean? Yeah. No, and it's a tough thing to come up with a good
Dude,
band name.
it is not easy.
Every band I know of that I love is the thing that taught me about it is this is the couple things that it taught me about. If you come up with a band name, number one, don't fucking tell anybody that this is your band or, hey, what do you think of my band name? Because they're automatically not gonna like it. Automatically.
But they won't tell you.
They'll tell you.
Okay.
Oh, they'll tell you. They'll be like, that's not a good name. Don't call yourself that. What I learned is, hey, have you heard of the fuck faces?
Yeah.
the
butthole surfers.
Yeah, the butt. Call your band that. I mean, it's not commercial, but, and it's like, dude, any band I follow or I've ever grew up loving, Green Day, Guns N' Roses, or not Guns N' Roses, Green Day, Foo Fighters. Like, if you watch the Foo Fighters documentary at the very end of it, he's like, dude, if I would have taken this seriously, I would have called the band something better than Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
So to him, it's like, it's stupid. But to us, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you establish yourself and you go, hey, this is my, whatever, like that. And the thing I learned about it was like, I would test out band names. I had a band name called Bitter Crush.
Nice.
And I would...
Punk rock?
No, kind of.
Sounds like you'd do punk
I
rock
come a little bit from that punk rock, but it was like rock, Guns N' Roses, punk rock.
Okay, cool.
It's like, I think that's what I get it from, where it's like you have like Slash, but then you have like Duff McKagan, who's like super punk rock. So it kind of balances out. And I remember, in order to convince the band of this band name, I would tell people about it. And I would record them saying it.
Nice.
And I'd go, because they hated it. They hated the band name. The band members did. They're like, we can't call ourselves that. I'm like, you got something better?
Yeah.
And I was like, Bitter Crush. And I thought, and some people I would tell, I was like, and the way I did it was I would go, hey, have you heard of this band called Bitter Crush? And immediately the first thing I noticed about it is that they did not acknowledge the band name. Because I didn't give them a chance to say, hey, what do you think of this name?
Right.
And then we ended up going with it, and the band was like 2 months old, and then we broke up or whatever like that.
Nice.
But it was one of those little test things that I did with that, and that was the thing I noticed about it. I was like, oh, that's how you do it. That's how you kind of just get away with it. Just be like, this is the fucking name.
Yep.
Fucking deal with it. Don't give me your opinion on it, because again, you can be called Imagine Dragons, which I
God
don't.
bless you. I don't know. I don't know, dude.
How do you get away with that name?
How about Imagine Dragons?
Yeah. Right. My only thing was I was like, close your eyes, picture dragons, imagine them. Here they are.
Well, I like Puff the Magic Dragon.
Right. Have you ever heard? Yeah.
Imagine.
Have you ever heard like Linkin Park's first band name or
No.
one of the band names they had? It's one of their albums.
Never
Hybrid
really,
Theory.
Never really got into Linkin Park.
Neither did I. I
Yeah.
like them, but like their name's Linkin Park, and you're like Linkin Park, and you find out one of their albums is called Hybrid Theory. That was one of their band names.
That's a cool band name.
right?
Hybrid Theory.
Why did you go with Linkin Park
Yeah.
instead of fucking Hybrid Theory?
Yeah.
Because they combined rock and rap, just like Run DMC and Aerosmith did.
Nice.
So it makes sense that they would be called Hybrid Theory, but for some reason they settled on we're called Linkin Park,
yeah.
and everybody just accepted
I wonder
it.
if that was a label move or
It could have
their
been.
move, you know?
It probably was a label move.
Yeah.
It could have
'Cause that
easily been.
happens.
I
That
don't
happens.
fucking know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's cool, but your band name sucks. Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, exactly.
You know?
We can't. It's you ever see the movie That Thing You Do?
No. Have I seen that? No, I
Oh,
don't
it's
think I
great.
have.
There's a great moment. It's if you get a chance, it's a great like music movie or whatever.
Nice.
If you get a chance, go and check out That Thing You Do. There's a great moment where Tom Hanks is the manager, and they call their bands the Wonders, which is a great. It's like a
It's kind of cool.
yeah, it's like a '60s style band, and That Thing You Do was written by. Oh God, I'm blanking on his name right now. He actually sadly, he just passed away from the coronavirus.
Oh, shit.
So he's a songwriter. He was in a band. I want to say, he's a songwriter and I think bandmate of Fountains of Wayne.
Nice.
And I wanna say
the singer.
Adam.
I forget his name, too, but.
Oh God, I'm blanking on his name. And all our technology is shut off right now. And he unfortunately just passed away. And he wrote the song That Thing You Do. And he did a great job with writing. He had a challenge of writing a song. Oh, God, I'm so pissed I'm blanking on his name right now. I want to turn my internet on and figure out Adam. Oh, sorry. I'm going to butcher his last name. Give me a second. I'm going to start this over a little bit. So the guy who wrote the song That Thing You Do for the movie That Thing You Do, his name is Adam Schlesinger. I want to say I'm pronouncing it correct. It's
Sledgehammer.
No, so it's like Schlinger.
Yeah.
I think I'm butchering. I am so sorry.
Name it in the comments. Help us out here.
Help us out. But unfortunately, he just passed away from the COVID-19 disease.
Crazy.
And he had the daunting challenge of writing a song for this movie and making it sound like it was already a hit song from the 60s. So can you imagine writing a song and going, I want this to be a hit? Now, imagine somebody going, write a song that already sounds like a hit. And when you hear That Thing You Do, it's not a hit from the 60s, but it fucking sounds like it. You're like, if you get a chance, listen to it, you're going to go, I know this song.
Yeah.
He just
I'm gonna have to listen to it now.
He did such a bang up job of writing this perfect time capsuled song. That's what it is.
Picture in the 80s. You're saying 60s?
No, 60s.
60s.
It's the 60s.
It sounds like an 80s song.
No,
That Thing
it's
You Do.
because it's That Thing You Do. Because it's like, you doing that thing you do. You're breaking my heart into a million pieces. It's like that.
I don't know.
And it's this very doom, ga, doom,
Oh, okay, cool.
Right?
Nice.
So in that movie, That Thing You Do, they have this hit song, the band, The Wonders. They write this top of the charts going through the thing. And the manager comes in, Tom Hanks, and he goes, and they spell their name, The Wonders, like Oneders. And he goes, everybody keeps going, please welcome the Oneaters, the Onetters, the Onetters, and they're fucking the name up.
Wow.
And that's the joke. And he goes, first thing he does, he goes, all right, listen, this one ONE, Wonders, it's confusing. We're dropping that. We're calling the band The Wonders. WOND. Don't confuse anybody. Let them. And if you get a chance,
I got to see that movie for sure.
Dude, it's a feel good, it's a popcorn movie, and the song it's a fucking banger. And they wrote a lot of other songs for it, or a lot of different versions of it. And the guy, unfortunately, like I said, he passed away from the COVID-19, and he was a talented songwriter. Wrote the song "Stacy's Mom" for Fountains of Wayne.
Great song, dude.
Right. And
great song.
Yeah, so when you come in with that like that, it gives you that little insight of like what people do with the music business, whether it's like managers and they go, hey, this is how we're gonna format the band, kind of like the Monkees.
Mm-hmm.
It's that kind of a type of deal.
Sweet. Okay.
But I mean, we're living in a day and era where now like people want the authenticity. They want something like Mechanical Roots to come in and go, hey, this is what we do. And you release this song, Broken Record, and they go, you reach people in Brazil.
Yeah.
Because of the internet. How does
internet?
The internet. Man.
Yeah.
How did that? Did it just? What?
Yeah, YouTube just the right. I don't know, dude. To be honest with you, we posted the song. We made the lyric video. I like did a very very low budgeted ad, like because I just lost my job, and I'm like, okay, well.
As a landscaper, or
no, I do sales now.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Which
there
sales?
You go. The lead singer's in sales. Who would have thought?
Sales and music actually
gotta be on stage selling that band. Yeah,
we go hand in hand. Musicians,
yeah, exactly.
You can easily sell anything you want. I made the super low budgeted ad where I did not think it would get we got 2,000 views, which is not a lot, but no,
that's still good. I saw the video. I was like, this has got some fucking views already.
Shit. And we did not think, we were just like, well, fuck, we had this other thing planned. Let's just do this and then just release it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
And we did. And it got a lot of good publicity in Brazil, dude. And
they love rock and roll.
Fucking stoked. Now, every time I do an Instagram live on Mechanical Roots, people from Brazil are commenting. Our drummer, Patricia, she's from Brazil.
Oh, no
so
way.
I always have to text her, be like, hey, what does this mean? What does this mean?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, it means that. And
So she's from Brazil?
Yeah, she's from Brazil.
Oh, there you go. There's the connection right there. Yeah.
Or it had nothing. It had nothing to do with her. They're not. Yeah.
That was just by chance.
Yeah.
Wow.
People in Brazil just appreciate rock and roll.
They do.
I
worked at the Hard Rock Cafe on Hollywood Boulevard, and people from Brazil always came in.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, hey, where are you from? They go, we're from Brazil.
Yes.
And they would always want to take photos with me because they love white boys who play guitar.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And you just look like you got that rock star look, you know?
Oh, thank you.
So there you go. Yeah. He's got it.
Yeah. Well, you got the same look, too. Just a little different. Like with the short hair, though. It's like a 50s James Dean.
Oh, dude, I had to get a haircut.
But still the same rock. Did you ever have the long hair?
Never. No? I would look like my older sister if I did. And don't get me wrong, she's a good-looking girl.
But you can pull it off, though. You got the hairline for it. You could easily do it. No problem there. No, but that's the thing. Yeah, they love the rock and roll look. I took pictures with people all the time, and that's you and I are probably like dead ringers. Like, are you a musician? It's like, what gave it away? The long hair and the tattoos, or the leather jacket, like that kind of a type of thing.
Right.
No, I know, and that's the thing. Like, because when I don't know about we're you know what? Hold on. Let me hold this for 2 seconds before we keep going. I fucked up. I think I'm going to have to use the restroom real quick.
Yo, me too.
Yeah? All right. We're going to have to do this one at a time. And then let me go real quick. I don't know. How bad are you?
No, go for it.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you going to hold it? Do you want to talk to everybody while I'm gone?
Yeah, I'll talk to everybody.
Talk to everybody.
Sure.
Just say whatever's on the top of your head. Read out of your diary. Read out of your journal.
I did bring my diary for y'all to hear. I got a lot of secrets to touch base on. No.
This is the problem we have when we start the fucking show with a whiskey and a beer real quick.
Yeah.
And for everybody out there, just so you know, I'm 30 years old. We're eligible to drink. I don't know how Kev is. I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to be rude. 17 years old. But no. We're allowed to drink or whatever like that. But that's the tricky thing with the podcast is you have to try to sit still. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the little girl's room real quick. I'm going to come back. We might edit this out.
Be a good time for the.
I gotta get that image. If any graphic designers are out there, please send me that image of "Hang in there, baby."
Ooh.
But instead of a tree branch, I want a microphone, and I want the cat to have tattoos, look like Paul Stanley, give it a guitar,
Nice.
whatever. All right, let me go to the bathroom real quick, and we'll pick back up.
This concludes part 1 of the show. You may now return your turntable and seat to the full upright position. Thank you.
Michael O'Grady, i creativi.